Kevin Walsh has stepped down as Galway manager, and it's been a couple of months in making because they were knocked out by Mayo from the All Ireland Championship. It's a good while ago at this stage. So first of all, his legacy. When he came in from taking over from Alan Mulholland, Mayo were looking for a 6 in a row in Connacht, and they haven't won a title since. So he's a couple of Connacht titles under the in the bag, 2016, 2018, beating Roscommon both times, and Mayo along the way, and then also he lost a couple of Connacht finals to Roscommon, but he got them up to Division 1. Remember him beating Kildare in Division 2 final at Croke Park as well, their first win in Croke Park for Donkey's years, and then of course to go on in 2018 and beat Kerry in a Super 8s game at Croke Park as well. That was a bit of a landmark moment because they hadn't won there since 2001 when they won the All Ireland. So I think those are important landmarks. And if you look at 2018, they got to an All Ireland semi-final, they got to Division 1 league final, haven't got there with Kevin, but 2019 just felt like a massive backward step. The manner of the loss to Mayo, just the style of play. I mean, when you consider some of the forwards they have, Shane Walsh, Damien Comer, pace of Eamon Brannigan, Ian Burke, like they have a lot of really, really brilliant players. But watching them, would I want to pay to watch this Galway football team? Obviously, that's not his concern. But if you were a Galway fan, a young Galway fan, like, would you aspire to play in a team that plays that sort of football? I find them very turgid to watch. They're not a team I'd want to see. If they were on telly, you'd nearly switch over to the other channel. So I think that's something that kind of plays into this in terms of like the general mood around the team. Right, we're not winning, but I also wouldn't want to watch the team. So it's interesting that both Galway positions are now up for grabs. The Galway County Board has finally come down and thanked Micheál Donoghue for his reign, and now it's quickly done the same with Kevin Walsh. So I think, and both of those jobs, by the way, it's a couple of months since the season ended on both counts. So what's going on that you're wasting that much time? And does that mean that, okay, the players are with their clubs at the moment, but teams that get knocked out quickly, if you don't have a manager there, does that mean that they're not doing their rehab, their S&C? And believe me, this is something that I've heard from one inter-county manager that wasn't happening before he was appointed, and that's not too long ago either. So the possible replacements then for Kevin Walsh, names you hear straight away, Stephen Rochford is mentioned, and I think most people who were involved centrally with Mayo, and Rochford did so well with Mayo despite some of the criticism that would have come his way, probably it wouldn't taste or feel right to go with such a close rival as Galway. But maybe he'd want to stick it to the Mayo County Board and show them what they're missing out on. He's done very well. Well, by all accounts, he's done very well with Donegal. People have talked up his impact there, the fact that they played much better football this year, and of course Galway watching a fairly turgid style at times in the last few years, maybe that would make him more attractive still. He also has gone as close as anybody has in recent years to pushing Dublin all the way. Obviously that's not taking into account how close Kerry pushed Dublin in the draw in All-Ireland final. Declan Bonner has just been reappointed for another year with Donegal, and has confirmed his backroom team, but that doesn't, it's not as if anything is watertight in GAA, all these things. It's not as if it's a contract that's publicly announced and can't be broken in the court of law or anything like that. Another mention is under-21 manager Pádraig Joyce, very, very popular in the county, legend over there. So he's been the under-21 manager, so he's definitely someone who'd be looked at. John Dively, who's the UCD manager, done very well with them, the Sigerson's Cup. He's also managed Coola in recent times, still is managing Coola. So he'd have an insight into, how some of the best players in the country are operating. If you're talking about the likes of Conor O'Callaghan and Michael Fitzsimons, either Kofi O'Byrne, who were all involved with Dublin against Kerry at the weekend. Dively was training groups of players that are based in Dublin from counties all over Ireland, leading up to I remember talking to Owen Kern, the cornerback for Galway, and he was saying that he was training a group of players coming up towards the summertime in 2018. It may have happened before and since. The likes of Jack Barry and Owen Kern were involved in these groups, so he's been involved with Galway himself anyway. So his familiarity with intercounty would be I mean, there's a lot of reason to look at him too. So yeah, interesting time for Galway. They're at a crossroad. They have a lot of really excellent players, but it's crucial to get the right decision now. And I think someone who plays probably a bit more of a progressive style of football, more entertaining style of football, which everyone wants, but it just feels like Galway were playing with the handbrake on, and maybe they need to move in a very different direction to what Kevin Walsh was doing.